What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a cool video for you today if you're into the smart home scene, in particular the superior platform Apple's Homekit. Introducing the Kwikset Premis touchscreen smart lock, the ultimate lock for convenience and security in your smart home. This electronic deadbolt is compatible with Apple's Homekit, so you can easily control and monitor your lock with your iPhone or any other device on the iOS operating system. And before we go any further, if you could be so kind as to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the great upcoming content. Let's go! So first, we better cover some basics. If you own an iPhone or an iPad or any other Apple device, you might have heard of Apple's HomeKit, but you might not know exactly what it is and how it works. Well, HomeKit is Apple's platform for home automation and smart home devices. It allows you to control and automate your home with your Apple device without having to use multiple apps or hubs. With HomeKit, you can set up and control multiple smart devices such as lights, thermostats, locks, cameras, and more, all from a single app on your phone. And you can also use Siri, Apple's virtual assistant, to control your Apple HomeKit with your voice. For example, you can say, "Hey Siri, turn on the living room light," or "Hey Siri, set the thermostat to 70 degrees," and it'll execute that command for you. But HomeKit is not just about convenience. It provides a high level of security for your Apple smart home. All HomeKit-enabled devices use end-to-end encryption to protect your data and privacy. In order to use HomeKit, you'll need to have a compatible device such as a HomePod or an Apple TV to act as a hub in your house. And unfortunately, you can no longer use your iPad as a home hub after the iOS 16.2 and iPad OS 16.2 update, which was a huge update to the HomeKit architecture. So in conclusion, Apple's HomeKit is a powerful and secure platform for all of your smart home needs. With the Kwikset Premis, you can say goodbye to the lost keys and fumbling around with traditional locks. Now you can simply use the Apple Home app, ask Siri, or even use the touchscreen to automatically open your front door. And with the option to create and manage up to 30 different unique user codes, you can now give access to your family and friends without having to share a physical key. Inside the box, you'll get the exterior deadbolt that features the touchscreen, the interior deadbolt that has the manual lock, the latch, 2 keys, 4 AA batteries to power it, installation instructions, your hardware, and the Smart Key Learn tool if you want to use your existing key. The Kwikset Premis is easy to install and set up. Using the included instructions or following the guide on the app, you can simply replace your existing deadbolt with the Premis lock, and you're ready to go. And with the included mounting plate and screws, you can easily install the lock on any standard door without the need for any special tools or skills. When it was all said and done, it took me about 10 minutes to remove my old lock and install this new one. The latch inside is also adjustable so that it will fit multiple different size lock cutouts. And this lock does use secure screen technology for additional security by employing random digits on the screen prior to being able to enter your code so that they can't read any fingerprints that might be left behind. And there are a ton more features that are available in the iOS Premis app that aren't natively available in the HomeKit app, and they are worth mentioning. The user that initially sets up the account will have the master code, and with the master code, you'll be able to easily restrict users from adding or changing codes at the touch of a button. And you'll also be able to turn on the auto lock feature, which will automatically lock the door back after being unlocked for 30 seconds. Also within the Premis app is where you'll set up those 30 additional individualized codes that we mentioned earlier. And another cool thing about that is you'll be able to set some codes to only work at certain times of the day or even be one-time use only. And you'll be able to check the full log history from when the door is being locked or unlocked, whether that's being used by the code or HomeKit. And I'll be posting updates on the channel when any new features become available through software updates, so subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out. With the Kwikset Premis, you can use the Home app on your iPhone to control and monitor your lock from anywhere. And my favorite feature is one that's built right into Apple's HomeKit automations. It's the automation that will run when the last person leaves home, which will automatically control multiple devices within our smart home, like turning off the lights and TV, setting the thermostat to a reasonable temperature, and even shutting the garage door and locking the Kwikset Premis lock that's installed on our front door. It is important to note that with this automation, you will have to press a confirm button to run the automation, since it's controlling at least one security device within your home. I assume Apple built this in when controlling things like doors and locks to avoid any liability issues that it could potentially cause. It's also worth mentioning that to use this lock, you'll need one of the following devices or newer: iPhone 4S, iPad 2, or first generation Apple Watch. And I just wanted to mention that as a disclaimer, but if you're watching this video, you probably have a device that's newer than one of those. But if you wish to control your device remotely, like when you're out of Bluetooth range or even away from home and you want those automations to run, you will need one of the following newer devices: Apple TV 4th generation with tvOS 9.0 or later, or an Apple HomePod. The possibilities for easy control and automation are practically endless with the Kwikset Premis. A couple other cool ways that I use this lock from the ease of Apple Home app are setting it up with multiple different shortcuts that will control multiple items within my home. For example, by utilizing the back tap feature on the iPhone or simply asking Siri to run my shortcut named Sleep Settings, this will automatically set different scenes built into my HomeKit and turn off all the lights in the house with the exception of the lights I deemed night lights. It'll turn my morning alarm on, set the security system in the house to night mode, and shut the garage door and lock the Premis lock. Hey Siri, set sleep settings. And this really is just scratching the surface. The possibilities are endless when you start playing around with Siri's shortcuts. And if you'd like to see me post a video going more in depth on Siri's shortcuts and scene automations, drop a comment and let me know. So as I mentioned before, this device does use Bluetooth technology. And yes, I wish it was a Thread-enabled device or even had the built-in Homekit. But if it did, it'd be significantly higher priced. And that's what makes this thing so desirable over some of the others in the first place. And with that being said, with a Bluetooth device, you'll want to either have your Apple TV or your HomePod within 30 feet of the lock. Anything further than that, and you'll start to have reliability and connectivity issues. And that's really not a fault of the lock itself, but rather a limitation of the Bluetooth technology. For the most part, everything's been smooth sailing so far with this lock. I've had a couple of instances where it takes a little bit longer for the lock to unlock. But most of those instances are when I'm using my Apple Watch. And I think that has something to do with the app talking to my phone and then the phone to the HomePod and the HomePod to the lock. I couldn't be quite sure if that is the case, but that's really the only time I've had any instances where it takes, longer than 5 seconds for the lock to open. And I'll make sure to update you guys in the comments if I find out any solutions or workarounds to that problem. And really, that's the only downside that I've experienced so far. I mean, I've really grown to love this thing. And Kwikset does make this lock in 3 different colors: satin nickel, black, and Venetian brown, which is the color I chose. It's also offered in 2 different styles, contemporary and traditional, all varying in price but starting at the great low price of $159. When I start to compare it with some of the other smart locks that are on the market that are compatible with Apple HomeKit, like the $250 Bluetooth level lock or the $500 Thread-enabled encode, I mean, the Kwikset is the clear favorite for me. So why wait? Get the Kwikset Premis touchscreen smart lock today by using one of the links in the description and start enjoying the convenience and security of an Apple smart home without breaking the bank. See ya!